slip on the drill.
As an artist, I've always blended my sketchbooks and journals together, and I've been loose-form journaling most of my life.
Tempo, tempo, can you keep up with my tempo? Tempo, yeah, blowing up, C4, I just hit the Mike Jackson.
I'm only asking my journal to do two things. Day to day, what are my priorities, and how does it all fit into my larger goals? All the other pages are sketchbook pages, in my opinion.
Don't slip on the drill.
All you need is a journal and a pen. If you want to be extra and honor your inner child, get yourself some gel pens. The best surprise was finding out that these were scented. Very distracting, but very entertaining. And I use a ruler to achieve some semblance of a straight line.
No shots, I got the cheat code. That's why I never lose. They can't predict my moves. I'm way too smooth. I just caught a groove. This right here, that charge all the fire.
Next up is the roadmap. Think of a high-level goal. Write that in the first box in a concise statement. Now break down that high-level goal into milestones or smaller goals. Third box, break down each of those goals into daily habits that would make achieving those milestone goals possible. Ta-da, you have a roadmap.
Tempo, you keep up with my tempo.
6 months at a glance. This is tedious to make if I'm honest, but the upkeep is minimal, so I keep it. You create 6 columns across and draw tiny calendars for each month. Then you list the days below. Circle major dates in the tiny calendar and record them in your list. The check-in is fully customizable. You can choose whatever columns you'd like to. I like to check in physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. This helps me recognize if my habits are being reflected in any of these areas. I like to jot down all of my ideas. I carry over ideas from previous months or journals here, whatever I want to carry forward. The buckets that work for me are business and finance, creative work, and well-being. This section is more cathartic than anything else. You just stream of consciousness all over the page.
I do not miss no shots, I got the cheat code.
I use a habit tracker for gentle and compassionate accountability. This is a visual way for me to see where I've been investing my energy. This is not a report card. If I'm wondering why I'm not farther along on a certain goal, then I can look at the tracker and realize I haven't been putting the time in. That's then an opportunity to ask if the goal serves me anymore, or if there is room to move around my energy. It helps me see what needs attention, but again, it's all about gentle accountability. This is where I write down all my morning gratitudes. It's a sacred practice of stepping out of my ego. I write down a word, draw an image, or a really short sentence. It helps me rewire my brain to start the day more positive. And I don't mean toxic, forced positivity. It can be as simple as, I'm breathing. Week at a glance. I used to try and plan my day in chunks of time, and I would literally never follow it. So it honestly wasn't a helpful exercise for me. It was just setting me up for a dose of daily disappointment. So no thank you. Instead, the night before, I jot down any major events, tasks, and priorities. I don't try to write down every little thing I'm going to do that day or try to capture every hour of the day.
Don't slip on the drill. High key, I know. I send all of my rap foes like they my tag.
Finally, the fun part. A planner that comes with all the sections built in simply do not account for my ability to go on a tangent and journal for pages. Open-ended journals allow me to follow all of my curiosities and get them down on paper. It's where I do all my problem solvings and brainstormings. I can sketch out ideas, and then I use these brainstorms to feed into other sections. For example, here you can see I'm working out what I need to do to get my yoga certification.
Like a 007 James Bond type movie, yeah. Hey, don't slip on the trip.
I plugged in the due dates into my calendar. I plugged in the tasks into my weekly planning section. Here are some of my ceramic sketchbook pages. That's pretty much it. Oh, but here's a bonus. My whiteboard tracker. A whiteboard is always visible. It's not a journal that you can close or leave in your backpack or on your nightstand. So I really recommend a whiteboard if you're a visual person. Also, if you're like me and have ADHD, sticking to the routine of a journal can be difficult. A whiteboard is accessible, can be even more free form, and you can write things down as you walk by, capturing your thoughts immediately. And now on to the review. Index, roadmap, 6 months at a glance, check-in, brain dump, habit tracker, gratitude, week at a glance, diary, and doodles.
That's why I never lose. They can't predict my moves. I'm way too smooth.